Now that everybody's gone, hi, I can start my eternal torture. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back. It's been a hot minute. Now today, as you can tell from that intro, we're gonna be watching Transformers. Which one?
Yes.
Today we're gonna be watching 12 hours and 42 minutes of Transformers. Why? I've never seen them, and I would like to have an opinion on them, because I don't get it. Probably because I've never seen them. So, today we're watching 12 hours and 42 minutes of Transformers straight, because binging is how we consume media. Alright, I'll catch you on the flip. Time for movie one. So the first thing I noticed in this movie, Shia LaBeouf is an asshole. This is a list of some of the things that he does in this movie. He tries to sell his grandpa's heirlooms. He's an ass to his dad while he's trying to buy him a car, just acting like a spoiled brat. He crashes a party that he wasn't invited to, and then he leaves his friend at a lake so that he can hit on Megan Fox. And we never see the friend again, so he's dead. He's presumably dead. Rest in peace, Shia LaBeouf's friend. In a similar way, Bumblebee's also an asshole, but it's great. Bumblebee the entire time is an asshole, but he does it through pop culture. And who doesn't love that? So he gets a pass. Another issue that I'm going to give a pass, why can some Transformers not get blown up at all from like military grade weapons? But then this other guy just gets hand sword. You know, they probably just have different strengths, right? It's not like this could be an inconsistency, right? But I think we can all agree it's definitely a character that made this movie as successful as it was going to be. It's kind of shameful to talk about, but Shia LaBeouf's parents were great. They're by far the funniest part of this movie, and I love them. The scenes with them were my favorite scenes. So.
You are so defensive. Were you masturbating?
Judy.
Was I No, Mom!
Zip it, okay?
No, I don't
That's
masturbate.
not something for you to
It's
bring up. That's a
okay.
father and son
Father,
thing.
son.
But a character that was not as fun is this guy that has a weird vision of Megan Fox. Very strange.
You in the training bra.
He calls her training bra, which is creepy. So he calls her training bra, so we can kind of assume she's young. And then like 5 seconds later, he calls her hot.
He's a criminal. Criminals are hot.
And you work for the government? And then Shia LaBeouf gets mad because Megan's record for being a criminal. You've known her for like a day. So let's settle down. But last thing I have to say about this movie is I don't understand how the Transformers work. When they first come down, we see them transform, or at least change their color into the cars around them, right? But then later in the movie, we hear that the cars and all kinds of technology was made from Transformers. So did cars come from Transformers, or did Transformers turn into cars? Because the Transformers look like the cars, but canon, the cars are from the Transformers. So if the Transformers turn into the cars, but then the cars are the the parents are still great, and that's about all I can say about this movie. Megan is still here, and they make that very obvious throughout the entire movie. They make it very obvious that she's still around. Okay, so you know that trope in movies where the good guys will say their plans and then the bad guys will be listening? They do that twice in this movie. And this guy, he's a good guy, right? He's the roommate of Shia LaBeouf, but in his room he just has tons of pictures of girls. And not like Playboy stuff. It's just like school pictures. How many more of these are there? And also, we have more of Shia being the biggest dickhead. Let me have a look at the list. He cancels on his girlfriend to go to a frat party. He totally interrupts the class, destroys his roommate's room, cheats on Megan, and then leaves the dead corpse of Optimus Prime. This is our protagonist. Also, he did not just interrupt any class, no. He interrupted Dwight Schrute.
Identity theft is not a joke.
Transformers.
Who's supposed to be a sexy professor. You know what? I can't see anything wrong with that casting. It's great. Perfect. Flawless. Also, all the new robots suck. They all are just the most annoying things. The twins.
What are we gonna do with this shrimp taco?
Just bump a cap in his ass, throw him in the truck, and then nobody gonna know nothing, not me.
The worst. The worst characters ever. I hate them. And this is before we get into how do they work? How do they work? So I thought this movie would sort some of the questions out that we had about the last ones, but they don't. Don't even try. Compared to this movie, the first one it makes a lot of sense compared to this movie. So apparently, Transformers can now transform into a bunch of stuff. A bunch more stuff. So they can turn into like robotic tigers. Okay, sure. You know, they want to sell the merchandise. That makes sense. They can also turn into people. They're not like robotic people. They're like real people. So real, in fact, that our good guy Shia LaBeouf cheats on his girlfriend with her. Her? Do the robots have gender? But like, why? Why? You make the tiger for a toy. You know, they also turn into a fly. Sure, that could be a merchandise thing. Why do you turn her into a human girl? What are you gonna do? Make sex toys? But you also hear through dialogue that they turn into just wheels and pens. And if all that wasn't bad enough, the creepy guy comes back. The creepy guy. Except in this time, he's no villain. He's a good character. Just listen to this.
And your little criminal girlfriend, look at her now, so mature.
And at the risk of me sounding like I'm going psychotic, they can all combine now. There's a big robot that's made of like 5 different Autobots. Why? No, actually, we know exactly why. I'm on to you. It's for merchandising. Obviously. This movie, after watching the first movie, I'd hoped that these movies were going to be okay. But I'm confused. I'm confused. There are explosions everywhere. I mean, at least it can't get more confusing. Right? Right? I don't know what I just watched. The space, Apollo 19, pillars, some other prime fellow, but we're halfway. We're halfway. The first thing I noticed about this movie is the Autobots have ships. They're ships in ships. Seeing that in the first one, it was explained that we made ships from Autobots. Did they make ships from themselves? Something to think about. But yeah, and back when they didn't want to interfere with the whole human affairs thing, now that's done. That's done. That's their job now. Turns out Transformers can kind of turn into whatever they want. There's this Vulture thing, and he's a TV, a pop plant, some pink bumblebee fellow. I guess it's good to get closure in the third movie, but still, he's the only one that can do it. So I still don't get it. What's the deal? And the second half of the movie, just explosions. The movies are getting longer, and the final battles are getting also longer. It's just getting longer. Oh, and this is tiny little detail I guess I'll mention. Megan's not in this at all. Shia LaBeouf has a new girlfriend. just a blonde lady, and I don't understand it. He met her when he got his medal for his bravery in the pyramid battle thing. So you're telling me that he was talking about how much he loved Megan, got dumped by her, and by the time he was getting his medal, flirted with this other chick? We'll add it to the Charlotte's a dickhead board. So the giant worm, a giant mechanical worm, which, sure, why not? But, to be fair to this movie, the characters are much better. I'd even say they're watchable. And also Shia, just a superhero now, grapples onto Starscream, I think, and just sort of swings around him like Spider-Man. He's fine, just superheroing it up. All in all, this movie was much better. I am still losing my sanity though. It's dark now, as I'm sure you can tell, and I have hope that the next one is going to be better, because this one was better. The last one was bad. This third one was better. It can only get 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 better. If I didn't know what I was watching before, I sure as hell don't know now. There is so much happening in this movie. So much. I will say, upgrade, Shia LaBeouf is gone. No, it's not an upgrade. I have nothing against Shia LaBeouf. The upgrade... No, actually, I take that back. I did have something against Shia LaBeouf. Mark, much better. But seeing we don't follow Shia LaBeouf makes it really weird that he's not mentioned at all in this movie. Because the Autobots are being hunted. Like, massacred. And I guess he just doesn't care? So that doesn't add up. But you might think, is that what this movie's about? Being hunted by the people? No, it's not. There's way too much happening in this movie. We learned that the dinosaurs were killed by aliens, and turns out these aliens actually created the Transformers. Now, you might be wondering, I thought the box created the Transformers, That's what the first two movies were about. You'd be wrong, I guess. Apparently it was some other guys. So these creators, they sent another guy, some bounty hunter fellow, to come get Optimus and bring him back. So that's neat. I suppose we could have a third plotline, but that's not all. We also have a family struggling for money and a dad that can't let his daughter date. And the other plotline is about a guy that's using the metal of Decepticons and Autobots to create this new metal called Transformium. The most stupid thing in this movie. Transformium is basically magic, and it apparently is what the Transformers are made of, but it's not how Transformers work. So stupid. And if you think the bounty hunter's stupid, you'd be also correct. The humans said, we cannot trust the Autobots. Aliens are aliens. So let's get another alien to hunt them. And I must have blinked at some point. I must have blinked because at some point it turned out Optimus Prime was like a knight, and he took out a sword, and then he led a bunch of dinosaur robots. I don't know. I do not know. But just one more left. One more left. How much sanity can I lose? I have realized why watching these movies is so exhausting. They're the same movie. The world's in danger. They have to save it. Optimus is evil in this for like 10 minutes of on-screen time. There's a robotic dragon. That's pretty neat. Turns out Bumblebee killed a bunch of Nazis. I thought the Autobots hadn't made contact with humans until the first movie, and then the second movie was all like, turns out that wasn't true. Well, it turns out every movie explores a time when they interacted with humans. I don't even know what to talk about anymore. It's the same movie. It has the same issues. I liked the characters in this. I think the last two had really good characters. Funny, charming. Mark Wahlberg. I mean, come on. And Bumblebee gets
I'll burn you so bad you'll wish you died as a child.
Brutal. I'm just glad we are done with this franchise. I can wrap up this video, give my final thoughts later, and I never have to watch another Transformers movie. What's that? There's a Bumblebee movie. Oh, fuck. That was surprisingly great. There were some issues. I'm not actually sure if that movie was a part of the other Transformers movies, like continuity wise, because he kills Starscream like immediately. And also they look totally different. In my opinion, they look better. It fits the style of the movie. It's all very cartoony. Yeah, I am pleasantly surprised. John Cena is hilarious. I'm pleasantly surprised. And yeah, that was a great ending to this franchise. I'm pleasantly surprised. And now I really want to sleep. So that was a great franchise. That was a great movie to end a franchise that I am not fond of. Well, that's it for me. I'll catch you on the flip side.